Hi, it's Mr. Woodward again. Here's a screencast for you for your pre-writing for the informative web page. I'm calling the pre-writing a web proposal. The idea being, any kind of writing involves pre-writing, but it's not always called pre-writing. It may be called a web proposal, prospectus, something else. In any case, of course, you're going to start with topic, I hope, and as I talked about in my last screencast, the one about the overview for this assignment, there are a lot of possibilities for topics. It needs to be a specific topic that you can cover fairly completely in 1,000 to 2,000 words. So if you've taken physiology, you wouldn't want to try to write a web page about all of physiology. That's something you couldn't do in 1,000 to 2,000 words. But maybe a very specific topic related to physiology that you could explain in 1,000 to 2,000 words, and someone would feel like they got maybe not all the information in the world, but they got a nice in-depth overview of that specific topic. And so identify your topic in a paragraph, explain how you've become an expert, whether it's your experience or your training or some work that you've done. And then you'll move on to profiling your audience. You're not trying to write upward to an audience of experts and scholars or anything like that, but you're trying to write downward to people with less expertise than you. And so it's important to think about who they are and to decide who they are. Are they people who are taking a physiology class for the first time? Or are they people who are starting out in a hobby that you're writing about? Or people who have already started out and they want to go further? There are lots of possibilities there. Talk about why, under motive here. Talk about why they might want to look at your page, why they might come across it and decide to stay there and look at it for a while and actually read it if they're surfing the web. What will they expect in terms of what you include, content, what you leave out. The tone, whether it's formal or informal or funny or casual or what they expect in terms of length, which hopefully matches what you're trying to accomplish, and other things. Since you're writing to non-experts, it's important to talk about and think about how much they know. And there are different possibilities. They should have less expertise and knowledge than you, but it could be that they've never heard of the thing that you're talking about. It could be they've heard about it, seen about it, been curious about it. There are a lot of possibilities. And so discuss the level of knowledge that you imagine your readers having, your typical readers. And then I've made a place here to help you start organizing the material, the information for your web page. And of course, like the rest of this document, you're putting down tentative plans that might change and evolve as you start working on the draft. So don't feel like you're promising to organize your web page in this exact manner, but identify headings that you're thinking of inserting throughout. The reading assignment, writing for the web, talks about chunking and the importance of headings. Some of your headings may have subheadings, and you know how those work, I think. Now, I've made space for a certain number of headings and a certain number of subheadings for each one, but the number of headings and subheadings is up to you. You can add rows to this table to add headings. You don't have to fill out every blank on here. You might have a heading that has no subheadings, and so on. But it's a place for you to sort of map things out. And as I said, I almost forgot to say, after you've decided what your headings should be, make sure they're in a sequence that makes sense. Think about what the reading assignment said about using an inverted pyramid, and put them in the sequence that makes sense. So move them around, cut and paste to move them around until you feel like it's going to have a good flow, as they say. Key concepts, you're presenting information, but you're also hoping that you convey some ideas about the topic that you're writing about, that your audience will carry away from and retain after reading your web page. So brainstorm some ideas. Now, they should be sentences, because otherwise they're just topics if they're not complete sentences. So not everything in the world has to be in a complete sentence, but an idea is best expressed in a complete sentence, so that's why that's emphasized there. But in any case, think about things you want them to carry away from the experience of reading your web page that they'll remember later. They might not remember every piece of information, but maybe they'll remember some concepts. And of course, here's places for me to make some comments. So I hope this is helpful, and just email me if you have questions.